Hey guys, welcome back to Jackula's Castle. Today, Jackson is at school, so you're kind of stuck with me. I've got a little bit of a project I'm going to start working on that I kind of need to get going because, Christmas is coming and we've got a lot of stuff to do. So we're just going to have to survive without him today. I'm going to make a Mari Lwyd for the front yard out of the Home Depot Halloween horse, the skeleton horse that they came out with a few years ago. You don't know who Mari Lwyd is. She comes from an ancient Welsh tradition where a group of people would go door to door with Mari Lwyd, which is basically was a horse skull on a stick, kind of like a hobby horse. They would go door to door, sing, explaining to the homeowner why they should be allowed to come in and have food and drinks. The homeowner would refuse, sing back, and they would go back and forth until the homeowner had no more excuses not to let them in. Then they would come in and they would have their food and drinks. This still continues today. And most importantly, she's just really cool looking. So I figured we needed one in our neighborhood for all the people that have no idea who she is. They'll learn something this year. I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly. I got some rough ideas. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. At the very least, you'll learn how not to do it. So we'll just see what happens. I'm going to start working on the head first. And then I am going to attempt to get the body to stand upright with some help of, I've got some like 8 and 10 foot pieces of rebar, zip ties, and whatever else I need to do it. We'll see if it'll support it. I don't know. Just going to kind of be a, trial and error thing. So first thing we're going to do is get the head out and start working on it. Let's get going. So it's pouring outside. So I can't work on standing the horse up today. So I took his head off. I brought him in here. I've got all sorts of different things. I picked up this wreath, the small wreath. Got a bunch of green ornaments. I've got some long kind of leafy and garland with some poinsettias on it. I have some gigantic bells. Also inside, I have a bunch of smaller bells, which I'll probably attach to the ribbon. I've got red and green. And we're going to kind of wing it. I don't want to glue anything permanently on him because I still do want to use him for Halloween. The only exception to that is probably going to be his eyes and I'll just use hot glue. That way it'll peel off later. So what I'm going to start doing is I am going to cut the ornaments here in half. I've just got a little hand saw here. I'm going to slice these in half and we're going to see how they look in his eyes. And if they fit right, we're going to glue them in there. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I cut the ornaments in half. They cut really easy. No big deal there. I think they're going to fit. I'll probably put them kind of like this. And then just hot glue them on there. That way, next year if I want to use them for Halloween, they're kind of easy to pull off. I picked up this giant container of green ornaments from Walmart. So even if they break when I pull them off, I'll just cut a new one for next year. No big deal. I'm going to pull out the hot glue gun, heat it up, and get these guys in there. Okay, so while I was waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up, I did go inside and grab the rest of the bells I ordered. They're kind of small bells, but they look kind of antique and they're in all different shapes. Kind of hoping, that when the wind blows, he'll make kind of a creepy bell noise. I've got both of my ornaments cut in half here, so I am going to put them on here just like this, kind of using the smallest amount of glue that I can. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's hot. That burns. Hopefully it doesn't melt my ornament here, because these things are pretty thin. And hopefully it removes as easy as I think it will next year. That'll be a surprise. Okay, so I went ahead and put his head in a vise here so that he was a little easier to work on standing up. You can see I got the eyes glued in now. I think they came out pretty good. A little bit of glue, outside of the area, but he's going to be like 8 feet in the air, in our front yard. So nobody's going to see it but me. I am going to start working on the greenery and ribbons now. So after a little bit of thinking about it, and trying to decide exactly how I was going to attach them to his head, because I don't want to use a bunch of glue on this part. Originally, I thought maybe some styrofoam to stick the stuff in, kind of like a flower arrangement. But then I found this wreath that is the absolute perfect size to go over his ears. It even has a ring here that I can hang, more ribbon and stuff on. I think it's going to sit on here kind of like this, and then I can attach everything to the wreath. It's not going to go anywhere. I can tie wrap it, to his ear if I need to, so it doesn't blow away in the wind. But I'll attach, what I'll do when I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and build this up, attach everything to it, and then I'll come in with the sheet. I'm going to fix the sheet here so it drapes back over his head and ears. And then this will kind of go on top of the sheet to kind of keep it in place as well. So I think it is time to go ahead and start attaching things to the wreath. Okay, so I was going to go ahead and just start attaching stuff to the wreath, but I decided that the vines that were on the back of the wreath kind of made it look like the back of a wreath. So what I did is I had this kind of cheap Dollar Tree garland. I zip tied it onto the other side of the wreath. It gives it a little bit more of a full look. I think it looks a little better than it did with just the bare vines showing. So now I'll start attaching all the stuff onto this. I think it'll be a nice sturdy base. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to attach the sheet. I'm not sure if this is the smartest thing to do before I have the body up, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it and hope for the best. I just got on Amazon and ordered some top sheets, white king size top sheets. I'm gonna try and get it centered, cut the holes for the ears so it'll evenly hang behind her, and then I'll be able to put the greenery and ribbons back on top over that. I may have to tie wrap it into place under the chin. We'll see how that goes when I get there. Okay, so as far as the sheet and the greenery, I think everything turned out perfect. That was exactly what I was looking for. The big question will be how the sheet covers the body of the horse. I did order 2 flat top sheets, so if I have to connect them together in some way, I will. Wouldn't stun me if I needed a third one, but they were like next day on Amazon, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can kind of see up here, I did tie wrap the wreath to the ears, and it is going to hold the blanket in place. I don't think there's going to be an issue with that. With everything on here, tie wraps were my best friend. I used, for all the bells, I used all of these really tiny ones and, up to a little bit bigger ones to hold everything in place on the head. So now, hopefully it'll stop raining tomorrow and we can get out front and set the body up. Okay, so far so good. She's standing up. She feels pretty secure. I'd be telling you about this out there, but there are people burying new fiber cable across the street, so it's really loud. She was missing something. So I decided I'm going to cut down a big branch and make her like a staff to hold in the ground. I'm going to put a lantern on it that lights up, some bigger bells, some more ribbons, stuff like that, just to kind of make her pop a little more at night. So I cut the branch down. I'm about to start putting it into the ground so it stays in place, and then I'll start decorating it. Let's go work on it. Okay, so I got her up. I got her staff up, put a couple lanterns on it that are solar lanterns, so they'll come on every night when the sun goes down. She seems stable right now. Fortunately, the ground was wet, so I was able to get everything in the ground pretty deep, pretty easily. I'll try and give you a peek inside here. You can see I crossed 3 large pieces of rebar, an 8-foot, a 10-foot, and then, I don't know, maybe a 6-foot. And I tie wrapped like crazy. She was a little wobbly until I got the 3rd one over on this far side. But I think it's gonna hold her in there pretty good. If for some reason it gets windy and I can't, and I see her, wiggling back and forth a little bit, I'll tie her down kind of like I do the other Home Depot 12-footers, get a couple guy wires and strengthen her up that way a little bit. But I think she's gonna do pretty well. So I'll come back out here when it gets dark and we'll see how she looks with the floodlights and the lanterns turned on. All right, so it's nighttime. We got a little bit of a blue spotlight on her. One of our solar lanterns is out because it's been rainy, so it didn't get quite enough sun today. But I think she looks pretty good. And not only is she up and going, but somebody finally decided to show up.
Yeah.
I had to do this whole video without you. So what do you think?
I was shocked to come home and see this.
You didn't think she was going to be standing up. You thought it was just going to be the regular Home Depot horse.
Yeah.
Decorated, right?
Yeah.
So is this better or?
This is definitely better. He's so much taller. And then, like, I looked through here and I saw the metal rods.
Yeah, and the rib cage.
It looks like it was a lot of work.
It was a little bit of work, but it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I think I got pretty lucky. It went up pretty easy today. Yeah. It helped that the ground was soft because we got so much rain.
The stick.
Yeah, the stick, and all the bells ring, so hopefully when it gets windy, it'll kind of make a creepy ringing sound. So we put up all our Halloween decorations. You kind of complained because we didn't have a giant one up this year.
Yeah.
Does it make up for it to have a giant up for Christmas?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think Home Depot should go ahead and make one of these so we can, you think?
Yes. Home Depot, please make one of these.
We'll have to let them know.
Yeah.
All right, so nothing went too wrong. No major catastrophes. I think Mari Lwyd turned out pretty good. Next year, maybe we should make a Krampus. What do you think?
Yes.
All right. Well, keep an eye out for it. Please like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.